Hi, this is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. Please let me know if you can hear me, because that was another thing I was worried about. It just seemed like the sound was a little low, even though I did not change it. But it is not low enough looking that it looked like the whole alteration had changed. So I don't know. Okay, so you said there's no thumbnail. Like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Okay, so from my end, doink, here you go. This is the thumbnail. Let me just click on this and see. I don't know if there's going to be something weird happening when you hear me, when I hear me talking, but let me just click. Yeah, there we go. So, I don't know, actually, because, yeah, I missed the thumbnail that way. Okay, so anyway, that should be there. It's a silky anteater. So, I don't know. I hear you. So my sound is good. Okay. Okay. I didn't think we had a shift or something, because I don't know. There's been some stuff. There's always problems with sound and God knows what, but never this. Yeah, I don't know, because it's showing. And I even looked at the thumbnail to me, like the original image is just, it looks like it's an ordinary JPEG. And it shows on my end, so I don't know what's up. So I guess I'll just kind of check later and see if it's it's still there. Maybe people in the comments could let me know if they can see the thumbnail like tomorrow or hours later or whatever. A lot of complaints about YT from content creators recently. The Last Supper you were talking about last week has changed a lot. There was a guy in the painting with something like a knife in her hand. Yeah, his hand. The knife is gone. That was always a weird one. All right, let me just check this out. I'll tell you one thing that is weird for me is that, was it today or yesterday? I went, actually it looks better now, but it just seemed like the search was giving me a lot of tiny images. And I think what it's doing is if it's like this, okay? If you can't, if there's not a lot of pixels, it makes the image really small. But I just don't remember the extent that it is now, where some searches give you all really small images and then I can't see. So then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna, I thought it was like some kind of upgrade. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go over to Google and that'll fix it. But then it was kind of the same, like they're just smaller. You can't see as well, it just seems like. I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel like I can't see the images as well as before. Like, I'm like, and there's no option to change that. And then I went over to Yandex, and I just feel like that was the same. So I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. It just seems like there's more images per square inch and they're a little smaller. So now I'm like, does that show what I see? All of these I can't really see if they're going to help me now. Okay, so this one here, that's the dude with the knife. I don't think that one's going to be big enough to see. Okay, we can't do an original. Because it's so ganky. Maybe this one. Still can't see. It's him that holds it. That's absolutely useless. Okay, wait. Nope, not original enough. I think he still has a knife. Let's see. Open image. It's definitely not as visible as before. I think it's still there. Is there something different about how he's holding it? So when I was looking at this, I did feel like this guy's, the way he's doing this looks different to me than how I remember it. I don't know. They're just like, it looks very uncomfortable, that the way he's, but I can't remember how it was before. And then he I think it was more like, I don't know, it just looks more like the middle finger now on here. And then I did discuss how the plates are empty, but now I really got to remember to dig my stuff up from the house and bring it over here. But I never, once I'm done with the show, I don't think of it until I'm on the show again. Oh, causes problems that way. Wait, there's not supposed to be a cat up there, right? Wait a minute. What is that? Wait, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. There's no way that, what is that? What is that big thing? Open image in a new tab. Wait, was that in there? No, it wasn't. There's not a cat in here. So what is, is there a cat? There's not a cat here. I'm like, wait a minute. But a number of these have a cat. That's why I was confused. Okay. This one looks like it has a cat. What is that? Open image in a new tab. Oh, is it? It has damage? Is that what it is? And someone made it into a cat? I don't remember there being damage like that, though. There wasn't a cat-shaped big damage thing. Or is that it? This, okay. This, whatever it is, was not on there before. Now I do not know if it's a cat or damage. This is weird. Okay. I'm kind of thinking maybe somebody made a joke by adding a cat in where there's damage versus, like, say, okay, this one makes it look like it's just that guy's skirts. Open image and new tab. Okay, maybe, where am I? Okay, I did you. Oh no, but that's over here. The cat's way over here. Actually, that guy's skirts is kind of weird too, isn't it? I'm not sure about that one. All right, what's going on here? I'm confused. All right, so here the cat is next to Jesus. Here there is this. Okay, so the cat is not this, and I think this is supposed to be that guy's skirts. Yeah, so, okay. I have no idea why there's a freaking cat in here then. Maybe it's a joke? It's just I saw more than one with the cat, so. Alright, what to know about the Last Supper painting? I'm telling you, if a cat shows up in here. I'm going to do a quick search on cat. Did somebody just grab one and not notice there was a cat when they were writing this article? I'm not finding. It doesn't seem to mention. Somebody who does not know this isn't supposed to be there. Actually, this is a pretty good copy otherwise. So this guy still has his knife. It feels like to me this knife is a little different. This guy looks like he's climbing onto the table now, and I don't recall like that. He almost looks like he's got a leg on the table now. Jesus has, I don't know if it's in all of them, but he has like this necklace looking thing. I guess they all do now, but I don't remember that either. Is that in the original? All right, so the cat, what is that? Just, they were trying to fool me. All right. I have to wonder if in some timelines there was a cat, but it looks like it's just that one painting. The Last Supper painting cat. Is there a reason for that? Where is there a cat in the Last Supper? Why is there a cat in the Last Supper? They typically symbolize deception. Wait, when was there a cat? The AI is confused too, apparently. People are asking why there's a cat, and the AI is saying that it symbolizes bad. I'm like confused. Is there a cat in there somewhere? I'm not the first one to ask this. This is what's kind of weird. It's like there are cats in some famous versions of The Last Supper. All right, it looks like these are all just copies. The Last Supper, but with cats. It is weird to me, though, that apparently a bunch of people asked if there was a cat in The Last Supper. And that one image just has one in there for no apparent reason. Let me just see what the smarter AI has to say. This is a tricky one for an AI. All right, the famous fresco by Leonardo da Vinci does not feature a cat. All right. The Last Supper by these other people. All right, that is a good answer. Well, that was nice and confusing, and a journey to nowhere. That would have been so freaky if there was a cat. I'm going to be watching now for cats showing up. Now, I do feel like UFOs have showed up in a lot of old stuff, but where's Wally? Where's the cat? I'd rather look for a cat than Wally, frankly. A stack of dishes on the left is morphing into something else. Let's see. Stack of dishes on the left. This thing, yeah, I don't... that cat is bugging me. I think it's just some kind of lump of meat or something under his knife, but... yeah. I don't remember that lump there. No cat in that one. See if this sheds any dawning light on the situation. Nothing on the plate. That guy's knife has changed. I swear, it's like longer. He's holding it even more awkward. I don't think it's even possible to hold it like that. Like, who's even holding it? Okay, it's not that person, because he's got both hands there. That person has both hands. It's still got to be this one, but, like, it was at least doable the way it was held before, but, like, the scissors here. I'm trying to... I guess you could. I don't know. It just... The thing is, he's got his hand like this. You know... It almost like it's painful. I think you could do it, but it would hurt. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because they're all different now. There should be cats. I never really noticed that it needed a cat until somebody put one in. Ah, yeah, that's a good point about the beards. Now I know that one didn't have it. Oh, I'm not sure on that one, frankly. So I know this one didn't because in some realities that was thought to be Mary Magdalene. So obviously if there was a beard. I do feel that this character looks even more like Mary Magdalene in a lot of these now than before. The hair's long and just everything. Even the whole pose, it's just so feminine. All these dudes are all acting like dudes, and then this character is like, ta-da! Yes. Cat. I think I'll feel that this is never complete now without a cat. Oh. Okay, hold on. I saw that chalice thing right then. So this one's tricky because, like I said, they're all different now. That's the original. What, you can't even see anything? This is the original. Okay, I think this is the actual... How come it's not done up there? It wasn't like that before. It wasn't like unfinished up here. That's weird. Okay, hold on a second. Something is not right. No. So, for a long time, like years and decades, we just see this. And then these were up there like a few years ago. But this bit, what is this bit? This half-done bit? There must be some kind of story where they overpainted some, but not the rest. But it was not like this with the half-ton bit and this. This is not right. This is not right. Okay, that is definitely different. And I don't remember seeing that like last week either. Okay. It does kind of look like the chalice. This is interesting. Okay. Long ago, there was videos where people were saying the chalice is off the table and it's on the wall. Now, I never knew a chalice being on the table, but I think it was Moneybags did a video where he swore that there used to be a chalice on the table and then it moved to the wall. But then over time, the thing on the wall did not look like a chalice at all. It looks more like a chalice now. That thing looks like a chalice, but there's more of them. And there's whatever's over here. And you can't see crap over here. Maybe who knows what he's holding in his hand. It's weird because this, whatever's under here does kind of look like a cat. It does. Maybe we'll find out that they restored it and altered it or something. There'll be some other drama with it. Anyway, this half done business, I don't remember that. Let me just see if it says in the wiki what the bleep is going on with the half done. You know what? It's probably going to take too long. Oh, and there's another one over here. Okay. And then that goes around, and then on this side is here. I've never seen that before. It's almost like the first painting is spilling over onto the, make a new one or something. I have never ever freaking seen that painting ever, and it's what, next to The Last Supper? Seriously? Opposite Leonardo's Last Supper. Has anybody ever seen this thing? This is bizarre. Okay, I don't know what to say. Okay, so we got this. God damn. That's not how I remember it. Wasn't this like a... This was a old church looking thing. Now it's got... What is going on here? No, I'm like totally lost. This was not the inside that I saw every other time. Like, I'm utterly mystified now. Okay, there's the official... Oh, what, they had halos on now? They claiming there's halos? It looks like there's supposed to be halos on these guys. I saw a few with halos. I'm like, nah. I have never seen them with halos. Alright, empty plates. Yeah, so it looks like now there's those loaves of bread, but there's also like tomatoes and lemons or something. I don't know what those are. Who would put those just on the counter like that, though? That's weird. We're going to be like a cornucopia on there next, and I'm going to flip out. Alright, wait. How do I go sideways again? Yeah. Is that the original? Because the knife looks so dark in that one. Oh, that's by somebody else. Andrea Solari. Okay, fine. Oh. So in this reality, looks like almost the whole thing went down during the bombing. There was minimal damage, as I recall, from the bombing. Like, they had built a protective structure in front of the Last Supper, but there wasn't much damage to the church. But it looks like maybe it got bombed down, and so they only saved a couple things, but I guess they did save the other painting that I've never seen before in my life. Okay, so, okay, so that's why a whole bunch of it is white, because that all fell down, would be my guess. This is craziness. Okay, so this is a pretty big shift for me. You don't get to see the knife. Cut, he looks insane. Uh, yeah. Okay, so the whole, that's why it looks different. The whole church fell down. In my timeline, the church didn't all fall down. So all around here was really old, skanky looking bricks from a gajillion years ago, or whatever mortar bits they used. Really old. So I guess in this one, only a few walls were saved, and then they just built like a modern church around it, and that's why it's all white everywhere else. That's craziness. That is like totally different. Yeah, so, there's always been plates that had some food on it. That I just kind of watched the one in front of Jesus, and it's like food, no food, food, no food. So I think we're in a no food for Jesus timeline again. And I don't know if that's symbolic or anything, but it is interesting. So Amelia Earhart's last name spelling has changed for a lot of people. Let me even see what it is now. Amelia. It was always a little hard to spell, but... Oh, yeah, it is. Is it really Earhart now? So it used to be... Yeah, it was not Earhart. Was that even it last time? I don't think that was the last time we looked. It wasn't Earhart. It was like... Well, first of all, there was a D. There's absolutely no question in my mind there was a D. But it wasn't ear. It was sort of like... I think it was like that. Or maybe it was just... No, there was more. I think that might be about as best I can remember. Or maybe it was the E was first. E-A. Oh, no. Then it's ear. Yeah, anyways, there was a D, and I'm sure. There is something going on with the front, though. It wasn't ear. Girl with a pearl cat? You mean earring, right? My fingers are short and stubby. I need longer. That is so... It's so funny because since I'm doing that Vine thing, I got a battery for the drill, and it's the Ryobi batteries. And I don't know if you guys know how they work, but you basically have the drill, and then you put the battery on, and then it snaps on the bottom, and then when you want to take the battery off, you have to pinch. You got to wrap your hand around and pinch. But they just make those batteries so fat, and like if you're a female with short fingers, I just can't get my fingers all the way to the pinchies. So then I have to try to put it between my feet and pinch like from the side. And I was going around with that because I got this new charger for free from Vine, and I got to review it, and it grabs it even harder than normal. Now, for a dude, I'm sure it's fine, but anyway, so I was just going to like plan out my thing about how short they don't make these units for people with short, stubby fingers. It's mostly Ryobi's fault. It's not the charger people's fault, though. But I was going to do like a soliloquy of sadness about the Ryobi situation. So anyway, I'm just laughing that you talked about that. I was literally doing that like just an hour before the show. Amelia Earhart's... Yeah, ER does look better. But I think it was like, I don't know. I think there was another letter in there for me, though. It looks too short. Is it A-E? Wait, hold on. A-E-R-H-R-D-T. Maybe that was it. Earhart. God, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. Nothing looks right. Ah. Alright, I give up. I know there was a D, though. That was the easy part. The weird D. See, and that's the thing, because I would have thought it was Earhart if you looked at it. If it was E-A-R, everybody would be calling her Amelia Earhart. Especially nowadays, because nobody can pronounce anything. In fact, I'm often going, like, I watch them, I'm like, wait, that's not how you pronounce that, right? And then I look it up on the dictionary, I'm like, no, they just very confidently said it wrong. Like, what was it? Swath. There's a swath of blue color in the painting, right? Swath. S-W-A-T-H. Somebody just called it swathe on a like a professional show. Like, there's a giant swathe. I'm like, swathe? I mean, is there another word called swathe? Because I'm pretty sure he meant swath. And that stuff happens so often now. And the thing is, you know, now on the dictionary, there's a little bell button thing you can push where it will say the word for you. So it is now easier than ever to know how to pronounce it. Yeah, it's been like very shifty, her last name. And she's got like a second person in the plane with her, so she did not do a solo travel anymore, which is huge for me. So the whole solo travel thing is complete horse hockey now. Son of... That's interesting. So for me, originally, the painting was called God and Man. And now it's, what is it now? Man. God and Man. I'm curious if it'll pull up the painting for that, because, painting. See, look. God and Man painting. Yeah. It's God and Man. Because this was a Mandela effect. Oh, yeah, Creation of Adam, that's what it's called. Now, for a minute I was scared because it said Hand of God and all this other stuff, but I'm like, no! Alright, that's not the whole thing. Okay, Creation of Adam. I don't really... Creation of Adam just doesn't seem like the right word for it anyway, because... I mean, is he just, like, it looks like Adam didn't just get created there. It looks like he's communing with God, but you don't get the feeling like Adam's been only alive for 5 seconds right there. Actually see that many changes, if any, since last time I've looked at it. This thing seems to have stabilized pretty well. This cherub turned into a hot chick. That's not creepy enough already. God is a creepy perv. In this timeline, anyways. Okay, we need something that has more... Yikes. Yeah, nope, those are... The only thing I can't figure out is this. I don't know what this like tortured face was there, but I don't know what this lump is. I don't remember that lump being there. Is it a shoulder? I don't even know what it is, because if it's a shoulder, what's this green thing? Or is it that guy's head? But that doesn't look like a head. It looks like it belongs to that one. So I will say that this guy was like a cheruby thing, and it's becoming slowly more larger. And there didn't used to be a black dude in there, but it's just gotten darker, and I guess we're getting a black dude now, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna look at yours before I click off. Is Adam chubbier? I don't know. You know, the thing is, like, the current anatomy, there's a muscle right here on men that gives them a love handle, but it's muscle. It's not flab. So I think that makes it, like, it might be an anatomy thing, basically. Yeah, that whole thing. I don't remember it being that small, but it's been a long time. The grower shower thing. The cherubs are getting creepier every time. Yeah, they're not cherubs anymore. I mean, that's not a cherub. This is not much of a cherub. This one looks like a small man also, like a short man. I mean, the musculature and stuff. That is not a baby. She is sure as heck not a baby. But yet, this baby is the same size as her. So that makes it weird too, because, like, how can you have an adult female and a baby and them be the same height? I mean, these were all just cherubs before. Now they're just... What is this thing? Actually, that one might be new. I don't remember that, like, demon... There's... Something's going on extra. I do remember those weird three faces, but... Something's going on with that. I don't remember that one and that one. Maybe there was only one there, but, like... There's a tortured eye right there. And then a sunburned face. This one looks tortured, and then it's got the lump. What is going on in here? This looks like it's hell. I swear to God. It's like, I don't seem very happy at all. The ones with wings are called putti. Wings. Which ones have wings? There's ones with wings in here? I don't see no wings. Wait, maybe you're talking about something else, because the ones without wings are called putti. Cherubs are not baby angels, they are entities. Well, they were always depicted as babies before, so... I don't know. In my timeline, they were freaking babies. I mean, I didn't think they were actually a baby, like, because they had more consciousness and stuff. But they were always depicted as babies, not as adults. What the hell is that claw under Adam's butt? I think that's the neighbor painting. Yes, okay. This is something I've talked about. There's another painting down here, and it has been encroaching more and more. Actually, it's getting really close to touching the butt. And it didn't used to. It used to have separation, but now the paintings are getting all mashed together. You could see up here also and here. Those didn't used to encroach. So this is somebody else's hand, and he's grabbing, I don't know, it's some fruits or something in a basket, something like that. And and it is weird the way that claw hand is. I agree with you. You know, the other thing is, last time I looked, was it always this green? It's so bright and green here. I don't remember it being that bright. Was it just more like blah green? Let's see some of these others. So that might have been like exaggerated in that one. But you know, all of these, they look pretty bright. I think they might have got an upgrade on the greeniness. There was a point where I'm like, when is that claw hand gonna touch his butt or what? And it's like, it's this close. It's close. Like, why would you even do that? Who would make that choice? Oh yeah, that was creation of Adam. You're right. Creation of Adam. Now it's the creation of Adam. When did that change? The creation of Adam. I thought it was creation of Adam. That. Yeah, I actually feel like we've lost some ribbons here. Wasn't there, that one was green for me, but it was less, it wasn't quite that obnoxiously green. But I thought there was more out here. Like, I thought there was a blue one. Now, I do feel like these are maybe oversaturated, the colors, but what else we got here? See, this shows you the other paintings. See, this is another one. Wait, that's a... God, I thought that was... It's still a dude, but man, I don't remember the hair like that. It's interesting. Okay. So, this painting is just like way over here now. It's weird. I thought there was a, like, more, like another... I thought there was a second one of these. I feel like we're missing some of the previous fabric flaps over here. So originally there wasn't any, and then we were getting like more and more, and there was a point where we said this is a Mandela, and it's longer now, actually, now that I really look at it, and like it's been growing. Yeah, it wasn't quite this much. And then it's brighter. It was kind of like hidden in amongst some of this other stuff. I think these have all changed too, actually. I think all of those are changed. Wasn't this all red? Now it's sort of red plus... like this is another color that's been added or something. It's not red, it's some kind of faded burgundy, and then... Oh, and look, there's some of the green over here. So it comes all the way around, and now you can see it there and there. It wasn't before up in here. So yeah, so that's a shift. All that. I think the demon-eyed... Oh, there's another hand on God's arm here. That's new. That was not there. So this arm used to come around and just do this. And I think it was, he clawed onto her arm, not this character. But now there's this little demonic clutchy hand thing coming out over here. Mauve, that's the word, mauve. The fingers of Adam, the right hand is not clear. The mastery. Oh yeah, this hand looks crappy now, actually, now that you mention it. I think that's pretty much the case all across. The older paintings are just not the quality that they once were. And I don't mean just in the degradation of the paint, but in the actual artistry. I feel like this sudden muscle lump here is new, and I wonder if that's an anatomy change, because I do have some anatomy stuff coming down the chute here. See, yeah, he did it. Originally, that was a cherub, and then just very slowly it morphed into a chick instead of a cherub. And his hand didn't used to go like, and that was a point where I'm like, wait, his hand. The claw-like toe, hold on. Yeah, well, you know, I was just noticing, see, his does that too. But all of the, like, if you look at your toes, I've noticed that they do split a lot more just naturally. I think if I was flying, and then the big toe likes to kind of split out, so I could see that it doing that naturally now. It wouldn't have in the old days. All right, well, let's see. I'm gonna have to look at this one then. The AI said he didn't paint the butt. He did paint the butt. Oh, it's super pink now. Doink. That has gotten so pink. So the whole thing has just turned pink. That's crazy. Yep. I mean, his skin is pink. His butt is pink. So when that first showed up, that it looked like somebody had taken an image with like the lighting had gotten really pink, because everything was sort of pinkish. But then I saw a lot of images like that. So I was like, what are they? Got too pinkish a light, and if you don't correct for it, you get a pink god. But now this is not pink at all. His butt is pink, but his feet are flesh colored. I actually don't remember his hair looking. This is like less well done hair too. All right. Okay, there's been changes on this one too. Because there's like this tortured soul dude here and here. There wasn't all these tortured people here. What do they call this thing? Creation of the sun, moon, and plants? Ugh. It occurs to me I never knew the name of this, because a lot of people don't remember it existing. But it's been around for at least a couple years, so let's see if I can. Oh, what happened last time was this weird sun thing showed up. I don't think it was called Creation of Sun, Moon, and Plants, because I don't think that sun thing was in there. Okay. At least that was what we were talking about last time. Like, I remember I was going, well, I don't remember the sun, or I didn't know what that was, frankly. It's the sun. Because that's a crap job. It is yellow. Like our old sun, though. Okay? It is yellow. In fact, it's orange. It's so yellow that it is orange. Yeah. Look, see? Another yellow sun. All of the suns are yellow. Give me that. Why is it so pink, though? Like his body. Doink. Okay. Oh, so what's new? These creepy. Why has he got like a Muslim head covering? This guy looks like he's missing the top of his head. So these weren't all here. Originally, when I saw that, there was just God and some robes and then him leaving. There wasn't like all these cherub demons in here. So the cherub, we're going to get more cherub demons, I'm sure, at this rate. I do think that the angle of the hand and stuff has changed a little here. His face looks more wild. Wait, what is even down here? I don't think I ever knew. Yeah, so originally it was like just his bare butt, and now it's like, well, is that his butt or is it fabric? But it used to be his bare butt because you could see one color of this, and then it was flesh tone here. So maybe it's getting recovered. But if you look at this image, this does not look like it's going to cover his butt, right? So that was definitely his butt before, but maybe it's getting covered now, sort of. So yeah, it was for sure his butt before because it was flesh. I don't know now. Maybe it's now just gauzy stuff, but still, why would you? Isn't that even more obnoxious? I don't know. Like, see-through material, isn't that even more obnoxious than just being naked? We now have a laser correction surgery forming in this reality based on an accidental thing in a occidental colleague. I don't know what that means. An occidental laser. I'm going to just Google that. All right. I think I'm done looking at these rather obscene things. This is huge for me, though. Like, the whole church is gone. It fell down in this timeline. All right. There's been a big shift. All right, so this is the Sistine Chapel. Wait, that's not the Sistine Chapel. That's the Last Supper church fell down. Dawn. Broken now. Crazy. We got another. So we lost the church, but we got like a second painting. I'm going to have to take some time to look at that painting too. Craziness. That is crazy for me, frankly. All right, that was something for later. Oh, yes. I swear to God, it's been like an hour. We've hardly even covered anything. LASIK. Okay. Are we talking about LASIK? It was not formed by an accident at Occidental College. Instead, is a foundational discovery in 1974. Somebody in Russia. I mean, I do remember radial keratotomy when I was in college. It was becoming a thing. It was really new in the late 90s. Okay, so history of radial keratotomy. Developed in the 1970s. Now, this one says it traces back to Japanese ophthalmologist Tsutomu Sato, who experimented with internal keratotomy. The modern form was pioneered by a Russian surgeon. Widespread popularity in 80s and early 90s. Okay. Hundreds of 80s and early 90s. 80s and early 90s. That still seems early to me because this was still experimental when I was in college. And yeah, I was in college, so that would have been not after like 90 or later. I'm trying to remember what exact year I was in. And there was a guy, an expert who came and he was talking about it at the college, and it was still in, it was not fully approved. It was still in the experimental stages at that time. So widespread popularity in the 80s and early, no, that was like the beginnings of it in the 90s for me. So I think that one might have shifted back in time a little. Yeah, you remember the wooden cups in the Last Supper? I know, yes, there was definitely wooden. New LASIK system that doesn't use a laser. Okay, that's where we're at. Discovered by accident. Laser-free alternative. Let's see. Use a small jolts of electricity and molded platinum contact lens to reshape the cornea. Electrochemical reshaping. Oh, cool. All right, so I'm hoping then that means that if they screw it up, they could, like, fix it. They're not shaving off eye bits. Well, we're many years away from being able to tell if the new technique will be viable alternative to LASIK. There's reason to be optimistic. Negative effects include dry eyes, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So the problem with LASIK is if you shave too much off or it doesn't work right, it's very hard to correct it well, especially if the problem is rather large. I remember back in the day they used to talk a lot about, like, nobody knew what would happen in 30 years with these eyes, too. Like, now I'm like, yeah, you know, the eyeballs have gone through 500 shifts since then and are not even the same anatomy, so. The new technique could reverse common reasons why patients choose to undergo LASIK. It could even reduce chemical-caused cloudiness. This is exciting. So when was this even out? Okay, August of this year. Cool. I've been kind of thinking, you know, I hope they straighten out the eye problems well before I have, because I'm getting older and, you know, my eyesight isn't as good as it used to be. So I want them to fix all the eye issues and have really good procedures before I need them, basically. It's like, come on, eye fixing. By accident, they warmed the lens and not burnt it so they could reshape it and make it. Oh, okay. It just seems kind of weird. You just warm up the eye and reshape it like it's putty or something. I mean, I'm not going to complain, but it is bizarre. But yeah, if they get it wrong, then couldn't they just like, oh, okay, well, we'll do it again, you know? And say in 10 years, if your eye loses its good shape, you just get it, you know, sorted out again. Yeah, so I do think that there's definitely timelines where this gets all straightened out. Eva, I've seen several versions of Last Supper and confused about it. Okay, so it's been a thing for a couple of years now that the original Last Supper degraded so badly you can barely see crap on it. And so now there's all these, like, this is what we think it looks like images. And so they all look a little different. And so that's causing major problems. So the really crappy degraded image is the original. Now, for me, it hadn't degraded that bad. It just a couple flakes here and there. But it's been a while now that it had, and had for a long time. So it's Mandela style change. So that's going to confuse the crap out of everybody. And I wonder if it just hides now, like there's all the timelines coming together. There's a version for everybody, you know. People say they see sharper on DMT. Maybe we need more DMT. Okay, so that is a thing for magic mushrooms too, for sure. And so part of what they say is the problem is that your muscles get weak or something, and they don't like flex the lens right, or the lens is too stiff. But clearly that, pardon the pun, yes, that is to some extent fixable, because yes, on magic mushrooms your eyesight does get better. You can sit and read the same stuff that you normally couldn't read. And I almost just go like, oh, I just concentrate harder, and yeah, and I can see it. And the brain just moves faster overall on DMT. Or yeah, that's, no, what was that? Magic mushrooms. That was on magic mushrooms. So if you ever watch cat videos, and you know how like sometimes there'll be a bunch of them where the cat startles and jumps all around, and you know how fast cats are. They're very hard. You're like, ugh, the cat is like gone before your brain can even hardly process what that cat did. But one time I was watching those cat videos while I was on magic mushrooms, and a pretty good dose of it, and I saw repeat cat videos. But hey, you're in a good mood, so who cares? Cat videos are fun. So I watched one that I had seen many times, but I just realized that I could very much just, my brain could keep up with what the cat was doing. So that was very interesting. It from my perspective, it was like the cat almost seemed slower, yet I knew it wasn't. It just, I could do more thinking per millisecond. In 2024, a cloud fell. I might have seen this one before. Okay, yeah, I think we sorted out that this was like foam from some nearby factory. Yes, that's what you were talking about. We have gone through that. There's been a number like that. Yeah, my eyes have just, like, the last few years, it's kind of gotten to a point where they're starting to get irritating. But the near sight is not as good anymore. It used to just be far away was fuzzy. Who cares about what's 50 blocks away? But now it's like, eh. Okay, so this one, Jackie found this one. Bizarre. So we had talked about that thing where, when wind blows past mountains, it makes weird spirals. But apparently now it can make these, like, dark void holes in the clouds. So that, I get, looking down from the satellite, it looks like there's just holes. It's not just swirly, it's holes. Well, these formations are linked to von Karman vortices, which we've had on before. Swirling air currents formed when wind passes through around a tall obstacle. Scientists note their unusual darkness, tight spiral structure, and dramatic change in direction make this event exceptional. So it's like an upgraded version of what we looked at before, although I have looked at von Karman vortices, and they look like this. And interestingly, the most stellar example from 2016 did not show up last time I looked at these, so found that interesting. Didn't I have something else planned? Put that over here. Silky anteater. There's the image of those. So another weird freaking anteater. They're so cute. So cute. That doesn't even look real. It looks like a Pokemon. Mysterious silky anteater. A giant goofy goof claws. Looks like they're cuter than sin, like so many animals around nowadays. His mouth doesn't even look real. I'm assuming that's a drawing, but still, the real guy is even more wonky looking. And cute. It's a Pokemon. There it is. That doesn't even look real either. This is like ridiculous. Anyway, so silky anteaters. Super cute. See, that looks fake. They sleep. They are so cute. I'm still blown away by pigs breathing out their butts. So they say humans could do it. If they just clean out all the poop, they can blow air up there and we can get a fair amount of oxygen out of it. That's another weird storyline. Okay, so who was it that came up with this one? Trobinsky found this one. So he said, he was talking about the clavicle, but I'm going to talk about some other stuff. So this is human skeleton. I don't remember these pointy things. So your butt's got pointy things now. This. Now, all of it's changed, obviously. But these are new. These pointy things. So, I mean, it's like almost holding your butt together or something. This is kind of convenient because it does show the outline of the body here. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, pointy things. The other thing I was kind of noticing is I'm not good at using this. I don't remember these bones being so wide on the wrists. And when I look at my wrist, I thought like it pinched down. They look really wide to me when I'm looking at it. I think that they might have gotten wider over time. Because look at how, I just don't remember them so sticky outy like that with the two bones so wide across. I think these bones did not have this giant sucker shape on the end before. Okay, so then we get to what Trobinsky was talking about, and it was these clavicles. So last time I remember these, now they have gone through many changes, but I remember them basically being, whoops, I didn't even want to do that. Hold on. So when you're, I didn't want to do that. Stop. I'm trying to manipulate it. Okay. Alright, try to get it to stand up. I don't remember them going up and back this much. I thought they kind of went straight across and attached, but now they go up and back. So they actually, on most of the images that I find, unless I am a slow learner, obviously, unless you kind of look down from below, and even then there's this bend here that I just don't remember there being. And if you look here, so Trobinsky was saying that it's almost a 90-degree angle, and he was feeling it on his actual clavicle, and I'm trying to remember how mine was, but he's maybe because he's a dude, and if you're skinny, it's gonna stick out more. But he said, oh, there's almost a 90-degree turn, and I'm looking, and there really is now, because That's a lot of turn. It is, it's getting on to a 90 degree. It's not all the way there, but there's like this huge bend thing here. And it goes way back. So I just don't remember that look, especially with this bend here and it going up. So I thought it went like across. Now it actually has this very much upward thing. I think that perhaps what it is that before it attached more in here and then it kind of went straight across more. And now it bends and then it hits through the side. So there must have been more changes in here. All right, and then while I was playing around, there's another thing I noticed. I'm pretty sure that straight line across the cheek's not supposed to be there, but I noticed here, it looks like it's really seriously considering putting in a fissure right here. We saw the fissure here show up. Fissures back here keep showing up, but I think the next one's going to be right here. So I went and I looked at other images. I'm quite sure there was not a fissure there though, but it's kind of a logical place for one. So how does this, first you get like these weird bumbly looking things over the teeth, which I don't think were in my original timeline, where it's just sort of like the roots have gotten so much longer on teeth. There was no way that they were longer than the outside tooth itself. So they're amazing now. And now I guess they're just so bulbous that they push out the skin. So we get started with that. And then the next thing you know, they slip in this little line here. So I'm definitely going to have to keep an eye. I don't think that's an accident. So I started looking at real skulls, and you could see, like, here it looks like a crack. There's a crack there. On this one, it looks like there's, like, a weird ridge thing right there. And so, again, I don't remember there being anything special about right in the middle. It was just more face. It was not like a crack, a ridge. Now, interesting, like, so here there's a deep crack. Like, it failed right there. I need to look at real ones. It looks like there's a crack on that one. That one's too blurry. Is that the one I already saw? It might be. Might be the same one again. They all go this way and that way. That's what I'm thinking. It's the same one. Is it the same one? There does look like there's a crack in that one. So it's almost there. Ah, this is interesting. Okay. I don't think it's the same one because it doesn't have a chunk out of the nose like that first one did. Okay. So these all have a crack, but they're kind of off to one side. And interestingly, I just saw a thing today when I was looking up these, where they said that it is common for humans to not have a symmetrical face and to be pinched a little on the left side. And now I have noticed in the last few years, my face has gotten like that. And it did not used to be that way. So it sort of weirded me out. And now they're saying everybody's face pretty much has that, or almost everybody's face. So, like, okay. All right, that is not a real one, so it doesn't count. I wonder if these monkey ones have it. No, I don't think that's a real one, so. Too blurry. That's interesting because I don't see it on that one. But it is on that one. It's all of them are off to this side a little bit too. So yeah, I think that's gonna widen. I think that's like the very first. This one has it. Yeah, the very first tidbits of the fissure that are going to be under there. I suspect that it'll become more pronounced like normal fissures. Has anyone else got SQ? Did you just show up because I just covered your clavicles? Right here. We were just talking about your clavicles before I got to that fissure. So this is what's going on with your clavicles now. I remember them going kind of straightish across. But now they bend around like this. So I think before... See, they kind of go up. Yeah, I remember them kind of coming lower down through here. Maybe this whole unit was down a little more. That could be it. That whole manubrium might have come up a tad. And come across here and then fit in there without like all this. So you can see there's actually an upward wing now to it. So yes, I agree with you. That wasn't there. That looks ridiculous. Look at that. There's no way. There's no way it went up like that. It was over here, like across. I think it was down further. So it's you're gonna bust your clavicle really easy now, because if something hits on your shoulder up here, it's gonna just whack the crap out of the top of that clavicle. And that's like a flimsy looking bone. It's not a good deal. So I remember you used to hurt your clavicle if you got hit in the front here. But it looks like now anything in the area, at least for now until we get another shift, is going to whack the cruds out of that clavicle. The whole top, that part, that clavicle's hanging on, was not there before. Are we talking about this thing here? Okay, so for me, originally that definitely wasn't there. And this, what do you call those things? I forgot the name now. Dang it. These guys here were growing, and then it kind of grew this ridge, and then one day suddenly the ridge popped around over to here, and there was a whole remodel and the clavicle attached. And this thing and this thing, I assume there's muscle in here or something. That whole thing set up at once for me. I do think they're longer now, but that has been there for a couple of years for me. All right, and then this thing has also been here for a while. I always comment it looks like a bow tie, which is creepy to me because I did not used to have this. For me, way back, the ribs would come around and they would float. They were all floating in here. And then this area was just cartilage. There was no manubrium. There was no bony plate in here. And so that's why they used to say to crack the chest to get at the heart, because they just have to cut through here, the cartilage, and they could just pull that to the side, and there wasn't really anything in there in the way other than the cartilage. And then but now you can't, like, that's just a misnomer now. You can't crack the chest. And what they have to do is they have to saw some pieces out of the side of the rib here and go in, because cracking the chest is impossible now. The front part I showed before. Okay, so yeah, that manubrium thing. A bone. Yeah, it's a so that's the thing. And so that's one of the things that creeps me out is for absolutely years men wore a tie like that matched this thing that was later created. It even has this little, I mean, and where you kind of tie it down with those little tie, what do you, tie clips or whatever the heck you guys call those things, is here too. Look. I mean, so that's just bizarre. So did you, like, somehow manifest it by wearing a tie for 10 billion years, or the tie knew that that was coming, that was our future? I can't be a coincidence. There's too many like that in the reality now. There's just too many. Desk elbow. Yeah, I don't lean on my desk, so I can't help you on there. I've definitely been through timelines where, like, some weird bone stuck out and started hurting. And for a while, it was on the wrist here, and I would flop my hand down. I was like, bloop, and it would bang a bone on here that never existed before. And I kept doing it. I'm like an idiot, because for decades, it was perfectly fine to just flop your wrist down, and then bang, bang, bang. And now it's gone again. The bones that used to jam onto the table are gone again, so I can flop my wrists down again. It's craziness. Yeah, I have told that story before. You guys are tortured with the same old stories. Every now and then I will have a new one, but... Alright, so we got you. You got you. This one's interesting. Who found this one? Dang, did somebody find this one, or did I find this one? Like, my brain is just not what it was years ago. I don't know if I've had too many shifts, or just old, or what, but I can't remember if I found this one looking at everybody else's. I thought that, like, Jackie found this one. Anyway, they found a new organelle inside our cells. What, go figure. I just never knew that inside your cells they had this thing, which, like, looks pretty significantly weird. This little organelle has a big job helping our cells sort, recycle, and discard important cargo within themselves. What you want to bet that this little guy is going to turn out to be really important for health problems, and there'll be some treatment or something that helps with these guys, because if, let's say they call, okay, it's called the hemifusome. They already seem to somehow know what it does. Like, didn't you just find it and you already know what it does? You didn't know about it all this time, but we know that it's for sorting and recycling. So you can only imagine if this guy wasn't working well, then crap would not get, like, it wouldn't be taking out the garbage in the cell, and you could be sickly, and you could obviously see how this could be at fault for many of life's illnesses. A rare genetic disorder can cause albinism. So they think it might be this Hermansky-Pudlak syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that can cause albinism, vision problems, lung disease, and issues with blood clotting. Problems with how cells can handle cargo are at the root of many such disorders. So hemifusome, I have a feeling, will be at the center of attention and as the years progress. Organelle. So an organelle is like a little organ inside the cell. You have the cell, and you have the nucleus, and then you have these other little things that do certain jobs inside the cell. So they call them organelle, like it just means little organ. The pointedness. Oh, yeah, when you used to hit the funny bone. Yeah, when's the last time I hit a funny bone? I used to hit the funny bone pretty often, and it was the worst feeling. It was very easy if you banged it, and it's gone. I haven't hit any funny bones in like 10 years. I don't miss it. That's for sure. Yeah, I think that those things just weren't there, and now we have this new narrative, and with the new narrative is going to come these new guys. Now, before I do that one, I want to cover some of these other ones. We got Last Supper, I get that. All right, I want to cover this. Google Earth. UK. Look at how big it is. UK is like bigger, possibly bigger than France now. It used to be like the size of Ireland way out here, and now look at it. So either all these shrank or it got bigger. Norway, Sweden, Finland, almost the size of the rest of Europe now. That was not a thing. This area has for sure changed. Here, because I've been kind of watching the Sochi area, and there is no way that there was this much angle on it. Like the Black Sea, I think, has pushed out. If you look at it, the Black Sea just looks bigger. Now, I do know that this area changed as we watched as that finger grew. But I think in here has pushed, and then just overall it's bigger. And to be bigger, it had to basically shove Georgia over and Azerbaijan and them. And they kind of went and they dented over this way. And I think Georgia is just shorter now, too. And maybe a little fatter this way. And this angle here is just quite a few degrees more sharp. It used to be more up and down like this. You could see here, what is this? This little pinchy thing has like shown up here. That was not like that. I'm sure something interesting will come of it. Those guys, this was not here. Tendrils. Where are we going over? Turkey's getting this big lake now, too. All right, but that wasn't the main thing. Let me go over and look at Australia, because this kind of shows it. Let's see if I can... Where did you go, Australia? Wait. Here. There you are. You know, and this shadow here has gotten deeper. I hate this stupid shadow because you can't... Why would I want that there? Okay, so Australia... Antarctica. Does Antarctica look the same to you, or do you notice anything different about Antarctica? Anybody? And then it does come up here after. It gets, I swear it gets closer and closer to South America. Yeah, you're getting a lot of ice here on the end of South America now, too. I think that's Chile, right? Since when does Chile have a load of ice on the end? Alright, so maybe that's the first time I've really seen a whole ton of ice on there. Alright, so... And just in case you're wondering if... Because I was wondering this. Well, maybe there's seasonal changes, right? So... Where is that? History, imagery. Okay, so the bizarre thing is, did I look? I mean, I've looked at these before, and I don't remember any of the images looking like this, but it's still about the same shape. 2020, 2009. I don't remember it ever looking at Antarctica and seeing it like any of these images, but these are supposedly the images from the past, which even confused me even more, because when they go back, this is more ridiculous than ever. I mean, why does it have this film around it? Is that supposed to be the, like, what is that? I guess it's the ice flows or something. I guess those are the ice flows they're complaining that have disappeared, but I have never seen that look ever. All right, so go back to 2012, 2000. Yeah, okay, so that was 2020. I've never seen that, or is it? Doesn't look like fog. I think it's, but see, like if that's ice, then why? Why is it suddenly all octagonal here? So, yeah. Something's rotten in Denmark. Look, they just... So they took like this image and then they just like cut it out and pasted it in there, and they have, clearly they did do that, and then they go, okay, and here's the water? What the hell? That is even weirder. And they did it for every one, and every one of them has the same cutouts right here. Every last one of them has the exact same cutouts. All of them. Look at that. That's just freaking... Oh, I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. Because that is obviously not a natural shoreline, and it is not a natural edge of anything. Looking at that. Why is that weird speck not move? There's a weird speck in 2005. There's a weird speck in... What is that weird speck? What the heck? So, I don't know what's going on. None of this looks real. Worse than normal. Alright, close off the... Wait, it's here. Close off the historical imagery. So we have one good image, even though I swear we've been looking at something like this for years and years, but now everything in the past of Google Earth is all... I don't know what's going on. Alright, I want to see what you guys have to say. Alright, Victoria is way smaller here, and there's a chunk out of the bottom. Australia has a dent on the top left. Oh yeah, Chile was S-shaped on the bottom. Is it still? Yep. It was more S-shaped. So to me, this is like north here. But it wants to... I have noticed that it's bending it. Like, I'm trying to fix it. So this would be upright for me. But it says, oh no, that is upright. Okay, so... It does look like some of this S may have peeled off. I don't know. Originally, it wasn't S-shaped. But for a while it has been. Alright. For me, the big thing here is that Antarctica just looks way bigger for me. I don't remember it being this close to Australia, for starters. So I don't remember being able to see, like, oh, there's Australia, and oh, there's a giant Antarctica. So I don't know if it got bigger or these guys all got smaller. But I think there might have been a big shrinkage. And people are talking about time going faster again. And if the Earth just did another big shrinkage, then I guess that might somehow tie in with the spinning rate. I don't feel like there's as much ocean here between these guys. It's like really tight in here now. And if you'll notice, it does look like this maybe's come up a little bit more. I don't know. I don't want to do that. Undo, undo, undo. Is that undo? Oh, well. We're just going to be... I don't even know how I got stuck on this plan. I don't want to add a place mark. Undo the place mark. Thank you. That's better. Okay, so that's thing one. I think it's too big. And part of it that shows me is... It used to be possible to get around here at the back and kind of lay these so that you really couldn't see. You would just see the tiniest hair of some of the continents. And you would not see New Zealand then either. But that is really not possible. And interestingly, suddenly the shadow here is much bigger because this goes way down to here. So say I move it by that same much, then you see a lot of something. You either see a lot of this. So say I make it so you don't see that, then you see a lot up here. If I try to shrink it, that's not really possible. Why is it not centered? No, stop. It's weird because there's all this space down here, but up there it's not centered in the middle of the screen. I don't know why that is. All right, so I'm trying to get rid of you, but then there's this. And I tried to bring that away, but so you could see hiding in here is a bunch of landmass, is what I'm trying to say. And it's a bunch because they faded it so that you can't really tell. If I pull it in tight enough to really see what that is, then a bunch of it's off the screen. So it's all a big freaking scam. And another thing I wanted to look at was, let's see, where are we? Doink. I ran. So talking about bytes, we were looking at under this piece. So before I was saying here, hey look, there's a bay. I bet it's gonna get bigger. Well, I think it is bigger. I think there's like it was like just this piece, but now we have like the mushroom has developed a stalk. Chabahar Bay. That was pretty much the only bay, but now this is almost as big as the old Chabahar Bay was. Lots of development. So these same stick things were there, but you'll notice the ships on it look way smaller. And the reason the ships look way smaller is because the actual infrastructure is way big. So it's the exact same shape as I recall, but the ships got smaller. So this is a freaking scam. This is a Mandela scam because the shape stays the same. And that shape could not possibly be the most efficient shape, no matter what size the structure is. Like if it was a small structure, it probably would need a different shape than if it was a large structure. But yet the shape stays exactly the same on the map. Look at all the stuff. Look at how many of the ships. So this many ships used to be how many were on this whole thing. But now, so this is like 10 times larger basically here. And that also means that this bay is larger. See all these little dots? Those are all ships. When I first looked at that, the ships would be like an inch or two across. Now they're just specks. It was like houses and everything on there now. There wasn't before. So this bay is way bigger. Also, and then see, there's this in here. Then you go along here, and there's like another one developing there. And then a whole nother bay here. And I'm like pretty sure that this looks like a freaking battleship shaped nubby thing wasn't there. At least there was not a whole nother bay right here. This bay looks more like how I remember that bay looking. So there's a whole bunch of bays that Iran's magically getting. Woohoo! Check that out. So, like, okay, this was not there. There's no way. Cool. It's interesting because a lot of this stuff, look, it's like it's all run down or something. But then when you kind of... What the heck is that? Solar panels? A lot of it looks like it's a billion years old and fell down, but then, you know, we'll come back in a month and that'll be all built up. Boom chaka. All right, when is the date attribution? This is from years ago. Yeah, I don't think so. So Iran might be behind like Abu Dhabi and stuff, but they're magically getting more ports and bays. Where was, there was another thing. I saw it earlier. Is it not there anymore? It's kind of freaky. Weird. There was like this, but more, and I think it's might have changed since I looked at it earlier, because I'm not seeing it now. Dang. Yeah, I think it has changed. So, it might be these now. Yeah. It was way more snaky than it is now that I'm looking. Oh, maybe it's this? No, that wasn't exactly. It was like this, though. But it wasn't that one. That one's too far away. Is that even still in Iran? No, it was like over here. Because I'm pretty much concentrating on this one section. Just because it's really hard to memorize the whole thing. But it was a lot of like this kind of stuff is going on. Wow, that's different than I... Dang, it's so shifty right now. I mean, like, this is different than I looked at it yesterday. Craziness. Whoops. Alright. I can't garner my brain together here. Americans don't know we call erasers rubber. I knew that the UK did that because I was watching somebody in the UK. There was two guys in a car live streaming and yapping. And one of them says, "Give me a rubber." And I'm like, wait, what? Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Are you joking? And they were acting all normal. And I'm like, wait. They must have said another word, you know. They couldn't have been rubber. And later I learned that I heard from another UK guy that he had a similar problem because he went into a store and asked for rubbers, and it was a little store that would not have our rubbers, and girls were acting all weird, and he's like, "What's your problem? I just need a rubber." And well, you could only imagine how that went. He didn't even know what their freaking problem was until somebody else from the UK said, "Hey, that's not the word." I said before, the tempo and changing reality is faster. Yeah, it just keeps going faster. Robin, yeah, with a Y was never an option. It was Robin. Yes. Agreed. And so many things are like that. So was it around the 90s where they started having this trend of having these weird spellings in the names? And I'm like, you kind of sounds, I don't know. I thought it looked stupid. Like you don't know how to spell. So your mom didn't know how to spell. But here's the thing. Now, even people who are older than me all have those weird spellings. And that was not a thing in, before the 90s for me. So... So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised you guys aren't remarking on the size of freaking Antarctica. Because to me, it's huge. It's too fat. This guy looked like he ate a lot. I mean, like it was thinner in here, and this was longer, and this pinched way in. And so I'm like, well, maybe there's some kind of seasonal variation. But no, this arm in here it went in here. And this looks so tiny now, but part of the reason it looks so tiny is because this is so fat. Plus, you can see these mountain ranges in here, which you didn't used to because that was just white. Ah, I'm like flipping out because it's so huge. I never saw this vision before where Australia was here and you could just see them all on the same map. You know why I want to do it that way is because, whoops, I'm not. This actually is more like the shape of my original Australia, like that. If you ignored all that, you shaved off these horns, that was about right. Maybe a little bit more filled in there. So when I look at that, I'm like, oh, there's Australia in its proper shape. But it has like, that was 10 years ago, and now it's that. But it still doesn't look right to me. All right, so you know what? I feel like here, this has grown. Like there's a little nub here that's grown. Lately. It's nice and green, too. It's more of those bite marks around the sides. And then here, these are, I covered that the other day, but this is longer than ever. What is this thing? This is sticking out. Yep. So there's Australia. Never knew Chabahar had... Wait a minute, Shari, weren't you here when I talked about Chabahar Bay? I swear to God, you were here when I talked about it. I talked about that bay like a couple weeks ago, and I thought you were here. And I'm like, look, Chabahar Bay. I don't remember there being a bay there. I bet it's going to get bigger. I was like, Shari, look, look, look. You don't remember. You don't. I can't believe it. You know, when I was talking about all that, I kind of noticed you never commented. I'm like, well, maybe she remembers it being there, and that's why she didn't comment. Crazy. You don't remember me talking? Oh my God. There's been a big shift, and I think maybe it was me that shifted. Like, you know, sometimes everybody shifts, but I feel like it was more me than everybody this time, because I've noticed I'm like, oh my God, Antarctica's huge, and everybody's like, no comment. Because to me, I hate that. I hate it when I'm the only one shifting. Or I'm the main one shifting. It's freaking huge. Look at it. I thought it was going to slink off because they say now that it's an archipelago of islands under the snow. Maybe these will just like... What's going on over here? Maybe we'll get bays and stuff and it'll just break up into islands. It already kind of is. So when they said that, I thought, oh, well, maybe it's going to like break up into islands and disappear. And maybe that's what happened to Antarctica, because I never was paying attention. And then one day Antarctica was just gone. But the other weird thing is that, I mean, Greenland, how do you even set it? Greenland is basically slunk over there and is taking the old slot of North Pole. I mean, where is North Pole now? North Pole. Boink. Alright, so there's... Alright, that's enough, dude. That's enough. North Pole's right there. 2D. So Greenland's almost there. And it's been heading that way because it's slunk around and... So it's basically sliding over here. It's starting to look like those old maps where it showed like a center land and then lands around the edge. I wonder if this is going to slink over to the middle and then these are going to tighten up and it's going to look like those. The old maps of this timeline which were not the old maps of my old timeline, but it's kind of weird to be like, why didn't we just leave North Pole there? Why did we have to eliminate North Pole and then drag Greenland all the way over there? And the only thing I could think of is because Greenland is owned by Denmark. So now Denmark will have a big property over here. So basically there's a North Pole owned by Denmark now because Greenland has taken the slot. And maybe that'll mean something important later. The other thing, you can see how much South America is, if you line this one up so that it is normal, North America. South America is pretty much almost completely squeezed over past to the east now. Now, a couple days ago, when I did this, and I tried to straighten it, and I would hit reset to north, yeah, see, this happens now. Now, what was weird was even if I did it here, that would happen. Ugh, I'm not very good at it. Today, I suck. So, like, a couple days ago, even if I had it over here, stop it. Let me see if it'll happen now. Reset to north. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of doing it. See, it's going like that. It should be more like that. No. It should be like this. That should be the orientation of North America. Oh, it'll leave it now. It's trying to make me look bad. But it wants to go like this. And I think that's what's going to happen is it's going to get tipped. It kind of is getting tipped. I can't believe you guys aren't freaking out about the size of Antarctica. So it must be me then. I shifted. Why is Earth not round? Why is it? Because that was the thing I was complaining about. They made the shadow thing. This is supposed to be the shadow of the Earth, which is why I don't need to see the freaking shadow. And if they were going to put that in, they could put it in very lightly. But oh no, and I think it's in there because it hides some of the shifts. You just don't realize how big stuff is or small as much when it's hidden back there. And this kind of changes size. It's gotten bigger and darker lately, so it's part of the scam. What shadow? So the theory then is this sun is over here, so that part's in shadow because it's nighttime or some crap. I don't get it. It's just effing irritating. Like, why would you choose to... Stylistically, why would you choose that? How is that helping anything? And you can't get rid of it. Last I checked, this is interesting. This is interesting. Dang, every time I look, it's different. Okay, just freaking yesterday, if I made this small, it would get all cloudy. It would white out. This is the first time I've done this where the clouds didn't show up. Now, for a brief while, was in a timeline where I could go into the settings and remove the clouds. And then they were back. I went into the settings. There was no cloud option. Now, today, if you shrink it down, there's... did they change it every freaking day or what? There's no clouds, but we have the freaking... Oh, my God. The galaxy, which I've never seen before, is now here. I have never seen the main part of the galaxy before. That's bizarre. I've never seen this. That the clouds are gone. Do they change it every day? Have you ever seen the Milky Way part there? Because I sure as heck haven't. I was about to complain about the freaking clouds still being there when it shrunk down because every time I get on here, I get pissed off about that. It's the shadow side and the clouds. It's like between the two of them, I become infuriated. But look, it's not. Okay. All right. Do we have daylight savings time? I don't think I went through daylight savings time. Fall back. Okay, wait. It was the... Did I miss it? Daylight savings will end November 2. Okay, it's next month. Next month is daylight. So there hasn't been any. Not here. Now, I don't know what the other countries are doing. The clouds are gone on your saved projects. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. So, again, do they... I mean, Google doesn't do crap on most of their stuff, but they get on here and they change it every 5 minutes. I just can't... I just don't think so. I think it might be shifts. Okay, well... Oh, what is the other thing I wanted to mention? I'll put this in. There was another thing on not Australia, but close. Joink. I almost made it upside down again. Yeah. Here, I just don't remember the mountains being so extreme over here. Like, all the way across with white. Last I checked, they weren't like that mountainy. They changed the depiction on here. Giant freaking lake in the middle. Also, oh, interesting. Okay, I was looking at this like yesterday, and I noticed how easily you could see this volcano. And I did look around for other volcanoes. I did. I don't know how I would miss this, because this is insane. With this huge circle, what is going on here? Did they just cut this out like last night? Because holy crap, no, it looks like that's from... So what do they have, a perfectly circular forest here, I guess? That is craziness. I have never seen that. It is so obvious. I was just looking at this going, oh my god, look at this giant volcano. And there's this. There's this. It's a perfect circle. And it's out of trees. A very close to perfect circle. Okay. I don't know, man. It's shifty as all get out right now. It is so shifty. This, you don't have any idea. I was just looking at this. This was not there. Wait, I saw something else too. All right, this. I'm a little suspicious about that. I am sure that was not there. This is so wrong. I guess I should look up here just in case. I come over here to look at this because I want to see when this is going to break off. We're making progress. The river, how far is it? It goes to here, but then it slits to the side. We still have a ways to go. We have this much land still that needs to cut. Let's see. How many miles is that? Yes, that's like 10 miles it needs to go still. I think this might grow longer before that happens. It looks like here, this piece has gotten like super long. I wonder if we'll get really cool weird stuff on the new piece it's growing. I do feel like this part has been like the new growing area here. So maybe grow a little longer and then break off. I think I was wrong about it breaking in Auckland. I thought it was going to break in Auckland. The other weird thing is I've been watching here for the break, and there used to be this business, these two golf courses. They used to be up here. This used to be one, like right around here, and then there was one over here. So first there was only one, and then there were two, and now they're magically down here. Also, these giant buildings weren't there. I don't know what to say, but it's just insanity around here. It is... this is interesting. This pinchy spot wasn't here either in these bridges. Okay. I don't know. It's really shifty right now. At least for me. Jackie hopes that if she says I'm going to have a Halloween party stream enough times, I will have it. But unfortunately for you, I'm not that suggestible. Yeah, that's New Zealand. Kamchatka is over on the, that's in Russia. That's, let me find that. That end of Russia. Here. And so there, it's over here somewhere. I think it's right around there is Kamchatka. Okay, so there's Russia. This piece keeps growing and growing because it's making these protected waterway inland sea things along with Japan. And that's where that big, see if I might even be able to find the, there's a volcano there somewhere. This is kind of how I'm used to seeing the volcanoes. They don't usually jump out and like punch you in the face so much. All right, let's find Kamchatka. Oh, it's way over there. Okay. Oh, that whole thing is the peninsula. Okay, so this whole thing, I guess, is Kamchatka. All right. The whole thing is Kamchatka. But I think the... somewhere in here was where that earthquake was, and I think it was related to a volcano. Maybe it was that. That was all on this end here. That was the problem child. Okay, so I think there is a Kamchatka volcano too. Let me see. Volcano. Yes, no, maybe so. Nope. Doesn't look like it. I might be wrong. All right. Kamchatka Krai. And that, so that would be the Kamchatka region district kind of a thing. So that would be all of here. All right. And then that's the peninsula. Yeah. Oh, wait, there's a, I don't think that's the volcano that went. I think it's one over here. Like, I'm really sure it was over here. So if it's this one, let's see, volcano. Now I'm curious. Kamchatka volcano, Russia erupts. Do they erupt or just have earthquakes? Erupts for the first time in centuries. There we go. Yes. Kronotsky volcano. All right. Kronotsky volcano. On October 4. That might be it. So we need to find Kronotsky volcano in Kamchatka Krai. I'm not even sure how to pronounce that. All right, so it's that one. Cool. There's a big stack of those suckers. 2D. Okay, interesting. I really thought it was more over here. I just can't be sure, but I really thought it was more over here. Like one of these ones down here. All right, that's the one that erupted. Unless maybe there was another one that was associated with that earthquake. Because I think the quake, though, was way down in here. Yeah, we say rock, paper, scissors, and I guess Australia says scissors, paper, rock. So you guys are all backwards and we're normal. That's how it works. I think it's funny that it's completely opposite. I don't know. How did that work? Rock, paper, scissors. So you like scissors, we like rocks? All right. It's time for me to go. I'm getting sleepy. It's 2:22 a.m. So I'm like way over anyways. Okay. You know the drill. Thanks for coming. Think good thoughts, everybody. This is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline.